What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host Josh, and we're here for the match preview between the upcoming game, which is happening today in the Pokal round of 16 between Borussia Dortmund and Paderborn. We're going to do this preview just like pretty much every other preview, just with the added element of taking into consideration their last Pokal games. So looking at the history between Dortmund and Paderborn, we played them 7 times, we've won 4, we drew 3 times, and we've lost 0. So we do relatively well against them. And specifically last season in the Bundesliga, I mean, we drew 3-3 in the first game, which was obviously very poor effort out of us, but we followed up with a 6-1 victory. And then in exhibition, actually this opening preseason, we actually played them and it was a 1-1 draw. So we are kind of familiar with playing them. But looking on our recent form, looking at our season, we are 2 wins, 1 draw, and 2 losses in our last 5, where Paderborn is 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So neither team is coming in absolutely red hot, but their last Pokal games is when we took on Eintracht Braunschweig, we won 2-0, and Paderborn had a very impressive 3-2 victory over Union Berlin. So both teams coming in here should have relative confidence, mainly because we can see what happened in these kind of Pokal games. We know that, that was an upset that Paderborn did against Union Berlin, but also the huge upset that happened against Bayern, already dumping them out in the round of 32. So, I don't think Paderborn's going into this game thinking that they have no shot. I think they're going in with absolute confidence. They think that they can do something, and Dortmund's going to have to come up and put in a real effort today. Because if I don't think if they take this just a little lightly, they can get punched in the backside and end up happening what happened to Bayern. So, I'm going to go in the starting 11. I was very curious about this because a lot of you guys noticed that I was praying for a little change in shape, and I got my wish when I went to a 4-1-4-1, and Terzic basically did exactly that. And I think these kind of games would be perfect for it because I think Paderborn are going to sit deep. They're going to obviously soak up a lot of pressure and going to just basically hope to hit on the counter. And sometimes when Dortmund plays in the 4-2-3-1, they don't have all that creative spark up front. I like the 4-1-4-1 against teams where we have a lot of possession because I think it'll unlock the defense. So I personally would like to see a 4-1-4-1, but given on 2 specific players I think that are going to be rested, I'm going to honestly predict that they're going to line up in a 4-2-3-1. We're going to see Hitz in goal, obviously due to the shoulder injury to Berkey. It's going to be Hitz's game. Mariah I have at right back. The usual duo of Kanji and Hummels. Very potentially Piszczek might come in, but I still don't think so. I don't think they're going to risk it. I do think that Dortmund are taking this game seriously because they want to do something in the Pokal this season. So I think it's going to be our usual center back duo. And then our first of the 2 basically resties is going to be Guerrero. I think Guerrero has had a ton of minutes this season, and this is honestly one of the best games to get a rest out of him. So I'm going to put Schultz there at left back. In the center defensive positions, we got Emre Can and we got Jude. I think Jude's definitely going to come in. It could be Delaney instead of Chan, but I have a feeling it's going to go that way. And then our attacking mids, we're going to see Gio on the right, Sancho sticking on his left, even though, Guerrero's not there. But either way, I think he's going to stick on the left with Brandt as our center attacking mid, and then, of course, Holland up front, which means Royce is getting the rest. Maybe Sancho will wear the captain's armband. We don't know. But the main reason is because I think Royce has had a ton of minutes, like I've mentioned, and I thought he was due for a rest last game. He ended up playing it. He did relatively well, but I do think this is the time for him probably to get some rest in. So looking over at Paderborn's on team, it looks like they're probably going to line up in a 4-2-3-1. They potentially could play with a 3-5-2 type formation, but just looking at their past fixtures and talking to a couple people, I have a feeling they're going to go with the 4-2-3-1. So it'll be 2 4-2-3-1s going at each other, so it'll definitely be a little bit interesting that way. More than likely, Paderborn will switch shape eventually to go to the back 3, but that's how I'm guessing they're going to start off. So let's take a look at our little key matchups, and the first player we got to talk about, obviously from Paderborn, is Chris Führich and Nico Schultz. And the main reason I'm going to pick Führich is because A, he's Paderborn's best player this season. He's got 8 goals in the league, and he's a Dortmund loanee. So, we absolutely have to mention him. He will be very interesting. I think it's going to be very exciting to play his parent club. But he plays as a right winger, and down the right-hand side, he's going to be dangerous, and he's going to be up against Schultz. And Schultz not having a ton of time, obviously, in minutes being played on the pitch this season, it'll be a big test for him going up against, obviously, one of our own, and obviously trying to shut him down, because that's where a lot of the pressure is going to come from. He's a tricky winger, and he's got, honestly, an eye for goal this season. The other matchup I got is I'm going to keep an eye on Jude today, because I think Jude is going to be one of those games where he potentially is going to have a little defensive responsibility. I think that Sven Michael, the striker from Paderborn, will be the other guy to keep an eye on. He's in relatively decent goal scoring form. He's only got 3 in the league, but he did score 2 goals in the game against Union, so it shows that he's deadly against Bundesliga sides. So I would like to see Jude have a little bit more defensive awareness about his game today. Track back when he needs to, really press. I like the way he pressed in the last game he started, and I'm hoping that he can shut down Sven Michael before he comes anywhere near our goal, because we've seen exactly what he can do against Union Berlin. So those are two little matchups. We're definitely obviously excited to see one of our own playing against us, so that will be kind of interesting that way. But all in all, this should be a game we should win. On paper, we have a superior team. We know that Bayern's out. That means this competition is completely wide open, and we absolutely want to win it, especially knowing the season we had. So going into that, I mean, again, I always say I hate for doing predictions, but you guys like asking me to do it anyways. I'm going to say a 3-1 victory today. I mean, I've been saying shutouts a lot. We don't usually keep a ton of clean sheets, so I'm going to go with the 3-1 victory. I really hope we can get it done if we can just play our game. I'm assuming they're going to sit back, and we just got to make sure we find that creative spark and defend when we need to. So if you guys are new around here, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.